Hello everyone. So today I want to share with you my SWE1 interview experience at Visa. I'll go on by recalling everything that I went through from the beginning till the end. And I did not get the offer. So if you are looking for an interview experience where they get the offer, then I think this one is not for you. But I did get through till the end round. So there might be some useful things that you can um, find out in this. So starting off, I applied directly through their career portal, and I had a I had an alert system set up on my laptop. So as soon as the I got the alert, I applied, and within like 2 or 3 hours of applying, I got an OA link basically. And I think the OA had two DSA problems only, and they were also of easier to medium level. And afterwards, like I gave the OA at night, and next morning I got a call from the recruiter, and she called me and told me that I had cleared the OA and that she wanted to schedule my first round of interview. So my first round was scheduled, I think, around 3 to 4 days later. So yeah, and the first round was basically, now coming to the first round, it was basically DSA focused. And so initially the interviewer, I think he was an SD2 or something along those positions, and he first went through my resume and asked me general questions from the resume. I was able to answer those, and then he went like when then he went and deep dove into certain topics. Like I had mentioned working with security and credentials, and he wanted to deep dive on that. He wanted to do a deep dive on that, and he asked me some deeper level questions, and then um, that phase of that part of the interview was over. And now came the DSA question. He asked me to share my screen. He shared me a link, and he also shared me like a whiteboard link as well. And then in that whiteboard link, I had a DSA question. So I think, yeah, it wasn't even a whiteboard. It was, I think it was hacker rank. Yeah. And the DSA question was medium to hard, I would say. It was like, if you have done it before, then it becomes a medium question. But if you are saying it for the first time, then it will be a bit difficult for you to solve it. I had seen it for the first time, and I found it to be a bit on the difficult side, but I was able to solve that. I was able to provide an optimal solution. And but yeah, that was all I could do. There was only one DSA problem, and I actually took a fair amount of time to solve that problem. And once I was confident that I had solved it, I told him so. He gave me some edge cases, but that was my solution was passing those edge cases. And then he asked me to submit the question, and if, yeah, I mean, it had to pass. Yeah. So he asked me that, are you sure that you can submit it? And I was like, yeah, I was confident enough uh, that it was correct, and it passed all the test cases. And he asked me if you want to ask something, and I asked some generic questions. And there it was like, he said that he was fine from his end. And yeah, then I received a call from the recruiter, I think the next day, that I had cleared my first round. And then she wanted to schedule my second round, I think 2 3 days later as well. And I asked her that what the second round would be about, and would there be any other rounds after the second round? And she told me that no, this was my last round. This was with the hiring manager, and this would be a mix of system design and behavioral questions and all of that. So yeah, and so I appeared. Okay, let me just take a step back and just also mention here that this was a very Java specific role. Although I have heard that big companies don't really care what language you use as long as you're good at problem solving. But this was certainly a Java specific role. I had mentioned Java in my resume, and I think that was the main reason my resume got shortlisted in the first place. And also, like, the memo that I got, the mail that I got before any interview, Java was written. So in even before the first round, I had gotten a scheduling mail, and in that mail it was specified that Java will be asked, although it wasn't asked, but it was specified in that mail. So it's like same for the second round as well. In the second round, it was specified that Java will be asked, REST API design will be asked, and yeah, I think that was Java and REST API design and Spring Boot, Spring fundamentals, all of that, because this was a very Java centric role. So yeah, then my second and the final round was scheduled, and person who was a lead, I think he had 20 odd years of experience in total. He was a lead also at Visa, and he was the one who came to interview me. So this was a very resume focused round, I would say, in the beginning. He went line by line through my resume. He asked me a lot of things. Some of them I was like some deeper probing rendered me less confident in my answers, but I was able to pass this round, pass this phase of my second round, but I wasn't very confident or very happy with my performance. Yeah, and so, like, some example would be that he asked me about Kafka, which I had mentioned in my resume, and um, like asked me how you can scale Kafka if there are a lot of he gave me an example, and in that scenario he asked me how do you scale it, like what would the partitioning key be, and all of, like, specific questions related to that. And since I had mentioned it in my resume, but I hadn't really had much of experience with Kafka, so I couldn't really defend it. But yeah, and then he went on to give me a REST API design, basically a user management REST API design. But I think looking in retrospection, looking in the like retrospecting on it, or looking at it in the hindsight, I think I should have specified the requirements more. But my main mistake here was that I directly jumped into providing a solution. Um, and I should have asked for clarifying questions. I should have specified the boundaries, but I just rambled on, and I think that's where I think it cost me the interview. So yeah, after that, I mean, in the interview itself, I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to be shortlisted, but yeah, like 2 or 3 hours later, I got a automated rejection mail. But overall, I would say it was a very, it was very, it wasn't like it. Overall, I would say it was a very good experience as far as the fastness of, or like the basically the rounds were consistent and fast enough, and also the rejection was also quick. So I wasn't ghosted in this procedure, or there was not a time when, I mean, I felt very frustrated with the process. It was a very smooth process. So I mean, in the end, if you ask me, if I was to um, if I was to like give you my finding, like what I would be doing different, then I would say, if something is written on my resume, I should prepare it in depth. And second one would be that if there is an LLD type of a question, like a REST API design or something, anything related to LLD, then specifying requirements and selective deep dive is better than just jumping into the problem and not knowing where you want to head, not knowing the direction. So specifying the direction of where you want, which area, which part of the problem you want to solve is important. And yeah, I mean, that's my key takeaways from my experience. And yeah, I mean, if someone else has an interview upcoming, I hope my experience could help you. And if it does, then I mean, my aim of making this video is complete. Yeah. Thanks and best of luck for your interview.